Bang bang! What's going on, guys? You're tuned to another edition of the main event on Talkin Hands. As always, I'm your host, Preston, joined by Mr. Danny Betts. We're going to break down this weekend's main event, the return of Regis Prograis taking on Zorilla, and we will touch on actually the return of also Tim Zhu. Tim Zhu, very exciting fighter right now, taking on Carlos Ocampo. Before we get into those fights, we got to recap a tough loss, tough fight. Josh Taylor does not get the job done, even though the judges try to help us. I will say that. The judges try to help us and loses to Teofimo Lopez by decision. Teofimo now says he's retired. Shocker there. 25 years old and retiring off arguably the biggest win of his career. But we'll touch on that a little later. Danny, quick thoughts on the fight before we get to that. Shout Andrew, shout Razor. Andrew says Father Time cut up with Taylor. And potentially he just kind of looked out of sorts. But go ahead, Danny.
Shout out to Andrew, my boy Razor. Giving those sharp looks. I can't even say anything, bro. Like Taylor looked flat. I mean, the layoff probably had something to do with it. Having a new team, new coaches, and I mean, we talk a lot of shit about Teofimo, but we know if he's mentally there in his A game, he's one of the best in the world. Guy's only 25 years old. He looked good. I mean, he had his flow going. He was even doing his little dance, and like Andrew said, father time caught up. Even though Taylor's not super old or anything, but like the injuries, he's getting older. The mileage, all the fights. I think that does have to do with it. Plus the weight cut, even though he looked great in weigh-ins, but I'm not sure, man. But hey, shout out to Teofimo, great performance. I don't know what the hell he's doing about retiring. I know it's like a leverage play, because that was his last fight, if I'm not mistaken. With
he like tore them up too.
Yeah, he wants to get paid basically.
Yeah.
So he's threatening to retire by retiring so he could get a bigger payday. Which I get, if those numbers what he said is true, then yeah, that's his own fault. But a lot of other guys are, without belts are getting way more money. So why not?
Yeah, totally. Because that was part of. I'm not saying it was the total handicap, so to speak, of the fight. But a month ago, he was claiming, "This is it. I'm done with Top Rank. I want nothing to do with them. They can go with Josh Taylor. I can be their golden boy, but I'm going to ruin their plans." And then you got to love his post fight. Am I good enough now, or whatever he said?
I got one more last question. He's like, because he said that his last fight before with Martin.
Yeah, where he lost. He lost the fight, but he got the decision.
Yeah, he asked, his dad, do I still got it?
Yeah.
And then after the Taylor fight, he said, he said it again.
Yeah,
which he does.
Yeah.
He does.
No, yeah. When he does that little shimmy and they just throwing the big hooks, and Taylor just seemed shell shocked out there. I would say after round 4, the fight was over, and you can kind of tell when that's going to happen when fighters like Teofimo, to a lesser extent, like Rolly Romero. But Rolly Romero stinks, which we all know. But how they showboat and whatnot. So, very impressive performance for Teofimo. That retirement will be short-lived. I'm sure he'll fight again by the end of the year.
Oh, yeah.
I don't know who he will fight.
I don't know.
Yeah.
There's so many guys out there. Now he's got the belt. I mean, he could fight anybody, honestly. As long as he's not a bum. But he's definitely good. He could get some big fights now if he wants to. And payday.
Yeah, I think next fight for him is a pay-per-view, pretty much regardless of who he fights, because 140 is loaded. Going off that fight, we will transition right into the fight this week. As I said before, the return of Regis Prograis. He's been out of action for a while. He returns home to New Orleans, Louisiana, taking on pseudo short late minute replacement Danielito Zorilla. Current odds at our favorite book, mybookie.ag, have Prograis as the massive favorite, which makes sense. Minus 1,600. Come back on Zorilla plus 700. round prop over under 6.5. Slightly juiced to the over at minus 125. Danny, can you get and make some money on this one? Massive favorite here in Prograis.
I got you, bro. Danielito Zorilla, he fought his last fight. I'm not even counting because it was some guy that was like 28 and like 21 or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
He got him out of there in the first round. Before that, he fought Arnold Barbosa Jr. And Soraya, he's a good technical boxer. He likes to try to set up that right hand. But Arnold Barbosa did, he his counters and he was too quick and athletic for him. And my thing is, he's before that fight he was undefeated, so we didn't know, if he could go through adversity and things like that, which he did against Barbosa, because Barbosa is actually he hurt him in the fourth round if I'm not mistaken, and he hurt him like the seventh and the eighth. And Barbosa, if you know him, he don't hit hard. He's only got like 9 KOs or something like that and like 20 wins. So that's a big red flag for me. And fighting against Prograis, that's a guy that's technical. He could rush you. He could switch to like a Mexican style and just go in there with his power and take you out. The guy is like got IQ. Like he set up Cepeda so bad in that fight. Like he was tearing him apart that whole fight. And what I love about him is he was clearly winning that Cepeda fight. Prograis, in the 11th round? It didn't matter. He was up big. It doesn't matter. He still wanted that KO, and he got him out of there. Like the guy is legit. And one of my but one of my hype fights I'm dying to see is Prograis versus my boy Sergio Matias. They've been talking shit to each other for a while now, a couple years. That would be a fucking war, man. That would be an amazing fight. But I really don't see anything for Danielito to get a dub here. Like he doesn't have enough power. He can't stay safe enough to outbox him, which he can't even do in my opinion. And getting hurt by Barbosa multiple times in that fight, it's not good luck. Plus I don't want to say gas, but he slowed down after that round 4, round 5. My bet here that I like a lot is round 5 to 8 for Prograis knockout at plus 200. I think I saw on FanDuel. I'll tell you now, I feel the same way with Tim Tszyu. I think Tim Tszyu's style, even though he's not Mexican, he's got that Mexican style. He's go in there and just work the body. His uppercuts are lethal. Ocampo is famous for being knocked out by Spence in the first round by the body shots.
Yep.
I know Tim Tszyu is not Spence, but the guy is going to go in there. He's going to do what he does. You know what I mean? He's going to break you down and get you out of there. And that's another one. Round 5, round 8, plus 210. I might even parlay it up because I think they both cash, man. I think he's going to make another statement. Tim Tszyu is going to make another statement in this fight. He made one last fight against Harrison. He wants to fight Charlo. He's got to get Ocampo out of there. If he doesn't, it's going to be a disappointment. It just depends when, and I think it's going to be, round 5 to 8 for sure.
Funny enough, you bring up Charlo. I'm sure you saw the news. Bivol might be out the running for Canelo, and the rumor is Charlo or who's the other guy? Man, I just heard about it. It's what's the guy? Badu Jack.
Badu Jack, yeah.
Yeah, Badu Jack. Who's like
he's 40.
Yeah, and he's always
good,
been, but he's always running with like Mayweather's crew and whatnot. So yeah, we'll see. Charlo.
I'm already mad, bro. I want to see that Benavidez and Canelo.
Canelo,
bro, no, it's not gonna happen. You already ducked them.
Yeah, I don't think it'll happen. Yeah.
September, like Mexican Independence Day, like it makes too much sense. That fight would be humongous, but he don't want to fight him, I guess.
Yeah. Going off what Danny just said regarding Tim Tszyu, yeah, Tim Tszyu greatly impressed me against Harrison. I thought Harrison was a live dog. Tim Tszyu's power, was very impressive. And I actually just plugged in, making it easier, I know, but a parlay, just a KO parlay of Tszyu and Prograis.
Yeah, you do that
currently too. Is minus 115.
Right.
So Both guys should get the knockout. Prograis, my issue was Zorilla was he wasn't throwing enough. He didn't
Hmm.
throw enough punches. Prograis going to be on him pretty quickly. Hometown fight, we talk about that all the time. He's going to hit him with big shots. That left, just the way he comes over the top with that left and just cracks them. And like when he hits them clean, like those guys go down. They go down hard. So, yeah, I think Prograis gets the knockout. I don't want to play that round prop too much because 6.5 I think is pretty sharp. I don't mind like
It
the
is,
stab
yeah.
on 5 to 8, or I was shocked you didn't do your 7 to 12, but you could get him out of there 4, 5, 6,
I'm
or
doing all three, bro. I'm parlaying the knockouts, like you said, 5-8 parlay and by itself.
yeah. So, and yeah, like I said, I think Tim Zoo could knock this guy out in like 4 rounds.
Yeah.
Uh, he's looked very, very good, and I think this is another show off fight. I want that should be on Showtime. I wonder when it's going to be on though, because it's in Australia, so the time difference might kill us.
Um, I forgot what time it was. Andrew, I don't know if you saw his comment. Andrew said, "I heard, a guy from Australia knows his
Yeah,
boxing out there, and he said that Tim Zhu will take him out in less than 7 to 8." And that's my. I mean, I see it. I mean,
yeah, I
he
like to
shouldn't.
do a lot. Yeah,
Yeah, he shouldn't last till round 9. I think he gets him out of there before that for sure.
yeah, and unless Zarillo, and that's the other thing. The Barbosa fight was 10 rounds. This is 12 rounds, an extra 2 rounds. Prograis is known to go deep into rounds and continue the body work, the headshots. I don't know. Zarello just didn't do much for me against Barbosa. He didn't throw enough. I think it was either Andre Ward or Tim Bradley was on commentary because I rewatched the fight yesterday, and they were like very like, oh, look at his counters, his counters. Barbosa threw like 15 punches for every
Yeah, I know.
counter
Yeah,
Zarello threw. So like, what
but
are we?
that lets you know like Barbosa didn't have a lot of power either, and then that one right hand from Danielito, like, and I give him this, like he did like get tired, but then he got like a second win, and he hurt Barbosa in the last round. If you remember that fight, he he stunned him a couple times. Barbosa was holding on for dear life.
Yeah, and I know it was either before that fight, somewhere around there. Barbosa was rumored to fight Teofimo. I don't know what
Yeah,
happened with the fight.
he's
Yeah,
been calling him out for like 3 years.
yeah, because he really hasn't gotten like a AAA fight like ever.
Yeah, yeah.
So we really don't know how good he is either. I think he's decent. I don't think he's like a top 5 guy at
No.
140, but and that's
Um,
crazy, right? Prograis 140, Barbosa, yeah, all these guys are at
Answering
140
your question, it says 10 p.m. Eastern for Temzul.
for Showtime
Yeah,
Saturday.
that's what it says on Typology.
Oh, perfect. Yeah, so that'll work perfectly because I will. Uh, I'm not saying I lost my ass with Josh Taylor, but I did lose with Josh Taylor. But I like that parlay a lot. And as Andrew said, yeah, he's been chasing Teo for a minute,
Yeah.
Barbosa Jr. Yeah, Barbosa needs a big fight. He's not like, well, that's crazy too. Prograis 34, 35. I thought he was younger than that.
No.
So he needs a big fight too. Like it's crazy how it works. But yeah, Andrew, huge weekend, 2 big boxing fights, pretty underrated UFC card, if I do say so myself. I know the guys will be live for the duration of
Yes, sir.
that. Uh, before we finish that, let me just touch on a quick sponsor, real quick. Prize Picks, PrizePicks.com, promo code PUBSPORTS. If you guys tune to any of our other action, we have Sharpie's bets on Twitter. He gives out strikeout props, hitter props. LJ comes on, Mike on Pimp Slap Play of the Day. They're going to put money in your Prize Picks account, so please go to PrizePicks.com. Use that promo code PUBSPORTS. On the channel right now, for the video with Buy Me a Coffee, buymeacoffee.com/PubSportsRadio. Any and all donations are greatly accepted and welcomed. Those donations will go to a future meet and greet event out on the East Coast. and hopefully by then the East Coast will get a major boxing fight. I know Danny was talking about he's got a couple coming
Boots
up.
Ennis, baby.
Yeah,
Atlantic City.
he's got Boots, he's got
That would have been perfect, man.
Anderson and
Well,
Boots.
yeah, I'm going to Anderson for sure. I got the
Yeah.
tickets already, but I'm just mad. Like the next week is the Boots Ennis fight. I'm like,
Yeah.
oh.
Well, Boots wins that fight. We see what
Pitbull
happens.
Cruz is on that card too.
Isn't he on the Spence card?
Is it on Spencer or Ennis?
I think he's the co-main to the Spence Crawford. I
don't remember now.
There is a good fight on the Jaron Ennis card.
Yeah, they announced it too. I forget who it was.
Let me look. I was gonna say Nonito Donaire.
Oh yeah. Who the hell is he fighting? I forget.
Because I know Cruz is fighting. He's the co-main for Spence Crawford. If Boots wins, I don't think they're gonna do it, but obviously if Boots, well, no, because they'll do an immediate.
Well, they got the
rematch.
They both got a
Spence
rematch.
Crawford will do the immediate rematch.
Yep.
Andrews,
And I heard rumor has it the rematch is gonna be at 154, regardless.
Well, then the rematch, Spence is gonna win.
Oh, I had that already.
Yeah.
Not giving out. Well, it's too late now.
Oh yeah, I mean, I agree. Yeah, you know that. I completely agree. But what's going on, Dabby Cab in the building there?
What up, Dabby Cab?
What I put on Creed 3. Crawford was in Creed 3.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah, I just saw that on HBO. So he's doing more work with Michael B. Jordan than he is hitting the bags. We'll see. I know a lot of people like Bud, but that should do it for us, guys. We'll do a quick recap, wrap up. Danny, best bet. I'm going with the very chalk, easy parlay, but Danny, I'll let you have the floor here.
I totally agree, and I mean it's not chalk. It gets you to minus 115 to knock out Tim Tszyu, knock out Prograis. I like that a lot. I'm gonna put that out there too. But I like around 5 to 8. You're giving me plus 200 for both of them. I'm taking it. Like I think it's gonna be a pretty easy night for both guys, and knockout. I mean, we're getting pretty much a gift with the prices, so you could parlay up the knockout, be a little safer, and then sprinkle a little bit of the round props. But I love it. Violence, early knockouts.
Yeah, I completely agree. I think both guys, they need statement victories. Although to me, Tim Tszyu got his statement victory versus Tony Harrison. But quick return back in his home country, I'd be shocked if he doesn't knock Ocampo out quick. Although Ocampo did survive versus the Towering Inferno, give him credit there.
Yeah,
he did survive there. And of course, the one time I back Fundora, he gets knocked out. So can never count his fights out, or can't count him out, so to speak. So that should be it for us, guys. Next week I'll have to check the schedule. I'm sure there's gonna be another there is. It's Julian Williams is fighting someone on Showtime.
Yeah.
At 154. I know that's the big fight next week. And then after that is big baby Jared Anderson. Yes, so that should do it for us, guys. Tune in to our UFC DFS show, Jimmy the Bag, tomorrow. And as always, you guys watching the boxing show, I'm sure you're watching the UFC live stream this Saturday, where all the fellas will put money in your pocket. And if you guys are watching the UFC live stream, you have to get into the contest. Your shot, free $100 to chat. Join the Pub Sports Radio UFC contest. That's where you want to be. Rio, hometown cooking for Regis. I don't think it's going to be that.
He's going to be cooking.
Yeah. And Real Deal Prime cannot wait for July's pay-per-view for the return of Bo Nickel. So, that'll be it for us, guys. We'll see you guys next week. This was the main event on Talkin Hands. Peace, guys.